Hey team, all right, so welcome to our June 1st team call. We are getting promptly started here at 8 o'clock. So this one won't be as interactive, so you guys won't be able to speak back with me, but this one is going to be recorded for the whole team to see. And let's see here. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started. First of all, June is going to absolutely be a huge month for us. I know that it's going to be absolutely huge. Reminder that this is definitely the time that we want to be getting, and just a reminder as you hop on for people to mute themselves, just so you know that. But anyway, so June's going to be absolutely huge. Reminder to definitely start booking parties now. As summer, kicks in and people get busy and all that sort of thing starts to happen, this is definitely the time that we want to be booking up June and July parties. So things that we can be doing like one of those. Some people do them with flower pots, some people do them with balloons, but you can do like the win a different gift, like a surprise gift when you book a party. Choose a balloon to pop or whatever. Jamie was mentioning it in Team Luminous today. But there's ways to do like balloons and just ways to incentivize people to hostess with us in the next 2 months. You can also, there's a new way to do product giveaways where as long as you're not giving away free unique product, you can be offering giveaways, and we can even do those in like garage sale sites and things like that. So product giveaways, like you can show a cute little bag and say, win me for free, message me for details, that sort of thing. Just we can't be giving away unique products for free, and give those like, public notice, like, hey, like on your Facebook wall or your business page or one of those types of like a garage sale site or Craigslist or something. We can't post those publicly, but you can do it if you're not giving away unique products. So that's something to be thinking about. You can be scheduling like one-on-one type parties. You can be scheduling the 3, 4, 5 parties, just little quick parties, demos, that sort of thing, and they can be online or in person. Obviously, I mean, goodness, at this time of year, people can be meeting at the pool, meeting for coffee, meeting over their kids' like sports practices and things. So I do want to mention that I'm wearing the Glitz package today. This is the Tenacious cream eyeshadow and Loyal lip gloss, and I always got my lashes on. So this is the Glitz package that's on my face. I really love these products. I especially like the Tenacious cream shadow for my blue eyes. That's like the most popping color for blue. So anyway, just wanted to point that out. Market it, sell it. It's an awesome bundle. We're giving it for a killer price of $76, so they're definitely making some huge savings, and they get the awesome bag. The bag is great in and of itself. So in May, we had some amazing promotions. So many people, so many went yellow. We had several pink, several blues. And then several people got that awesome green bonus again. So huge congratulations to all of you who did just wonderful, amazing things in May, and we are just going onward and upward. We grew by 22 people in May, which is amazing. So we are knocking on the door of 100. I expect 100 to happen this week or next week, so super excited about that. So basically, tonight's team call is going to be all about leadership and what that means, what that looks like. How can you be a leader when you don't have a team yet? How can you be a leader, when you only have 1 or 2 people, when you have 10 or 20? Some of you have over 30 people on your team. So I feel like leadership is a very important topic for us to cover. So the first thing I want to talk about is basically long-term success. And if you're wondering why I keep doing this, it's because I have notes, because I cannot keep my brain straight when I do these calls. So it's not that I'm shy or awkward. I'm just reading my notes. Long-term success in our business requires true servant leadership. And so we are going to be talking a little bit about what servant leadership is. When we are driven to make others successful more than making ourselves successful. That is servant leadership. And being driven, when we're only driven for ourselves and we're being driven by what's going to bring us more money, bring us more success, more of what we want, we will never have a strong foundation in our companies. And so even those of you who are really just getting started, if you have these concepts now and you start running your business this way now, when you have 5, 10, 15, 1,000 women underneath you, you're going to be already, laying the groundwork to really already have that strength there. So really, a great leader is going to develop themselves not for themselves, but in order to grow other people, in order to help other people, and not more money. Because what people in this business who are extremely successful understand is that we are in the people business. We're successful when we make other people successful. We make money when we make other people money. And so if we can get our eyes and our focus off of our own stuff and what's going on, and we can just look at our team and what we can do to make them absolutely as successful as possible, that is when we really start making money. So it's like, if you can get your focus off of yourself, that's usually when you end up benefiting yourself without even realizing it. So it really doesn't matter if you at this point have no team members, if you have one team member, or if you have 1,000 team members. What creates a leader is somebody who has influence. That's it. That is literally the definition of a leader, is somebody who has influence. And when people are looking to you, when they're following you, even when they're following like your Facebook posts and they're interested and they're interacting with you because they find you inspirational and they find you interesting and all of that, you are already leading those people. So even before you have a team, as soon as you have any level of influence in your life, if you're a mom, if you're an older sibling, if you have really great friends who look to you for advice, you're leading those people. So I don't want anybody to have the excuse, well, I'm not a leader yet, so this doesn't apply to me. Every single one of you are leaders. In some area of your life, you are leading other people. And so many people, I think, discount themselves, especially in this business. It's like I just hear so many people kind of like, let's say you recruit 3 people, and one of your people are just so strong that they drive a huge majority of your team sales. Well, I've heard several times leaders in our company and other people's companies say things like, well, I'm not really a leader. I just have a really good team member, and they're doing the majority of the leading, so I don't really lead that person. I don't lead my team. I'm just lucky to have this person who's kind of driving my sales. That is poppycock. It's not true. You are a leader. If you have women, if you have people underneath you at any level, you are a leader. So let's get that clear, all right? I know that you know it, but I'm going to say it several more times. You are leading people in your life. Success in this business happens when we can successfully replicate ourselves in other people and then take it to the next level, which is when we can successfully teach other people to replicate themselves. What that means is we can do a good amount on our own. And one of the things that I actually love about the unique compensation plan is that you don't have to have a team to make really good money in this business. But for the sake of your longevity and the sake of really taking your business to another level, having a strong team is one of the most powerful assets that you can have. And so definitely learning how to replicate yourself, that comes really naturally for some people, and it really doesn't come naturally for others. So we're definitely going to talk about some tactics and some methods today for how to replicate yourself well and very healthily. So basically, I want to first encourage you, like I said, I don't care if you don't have team members underneath you yet, or if you have 1,000. I keep saying it, but you still need to have this skill set. So we're going to kind of transition from, yes, every single one of you are leading somebody. So the way that you post, the way that you conduct yourself, the way that you talk to other people, the way that you communicate, all of that is now a complete reflection of your business. Once you sign up and go into business for yourself, you are your business. And so the way that you are leading other people is also how you're showing them what unique is and what this business is all about. So definitely be keeping that in mind, and always be filtering what you're saying at this point through that lens that, okay, everything I'm saying is leading somebody. I am having influence. What type of influence am I having? Is it positive? Is it negative? Am I lifting people up? Am I bringing people down? Am I, stirring people's fires? Whatever. Be thinking through that influence. So in the business side of this, something that we need to learn how to do is kind of learning how to recognize who the leaders are in our teams. And even, like I said, when you have one people, when you have two people, you can already start doing this. When you have no people, you're going to be recruiting and thinking about these sorts of things, which I'm going to give a little tip on that in a second. So how do you know who your leaders are? I think that there's some very defining characteristics for those people who are going to be your strong leaders. And one of them is that they are driven. They have a very powerful why. They have just something that's pushing them forward. I've heard some incredible whys in our Team Luminous. Last month we had that challenge, and I loved reading your guys' whys. So driven. Driven is extremely important. I think, gosh, even more important than driven is people who are positive. Positivity is one of the most crucial aspects to being a leader, without a doubt. People who can control their thought life, those are the people you want leading your team. People who already have influence. So this is something that Amber Voigt always says. She says anytime that you're working on recruiting, always recruit up. You've probably heard the term of somebody who married up. I married somebody who was better than me. The same thing goes here. When we're recruiting, we will benefit ourselves by recruiting people who have more influence than us. Sure, we might be really intimidated by that, and we might be like, oh my gosh, like how could I? We almost go like back to high school, like this is the popular girl and there's no way I can talk to her. She doesn't sit at my lunch table. We still can get that mentality, especially as women. It is so important that we get over ourselves a little bit and muster up the courage to understand that we do have something amazing, that we're not begging women to join something, but we are offering something extremely powerful to our team, to the world, to the women in our lives. And so always shoot for those big fish. Obviously we know now that recruiting, we're sharing, we're marketing, we're attraction marketing, but you're still going after people. You're still pursuing their Facebook. You're commenting on their posts. You're dropping little hints and all the things we talked about in all of our recruiting material, but always recruit up. Look for those people who already have influence. And the other characteristic that defines leaders in your group are people who they have clear goals. They know that they want to be, even, gosh, I just really want to be a solid pink. That's still a clear goal. I want to be black. That's still a clear goal. I want to be out of debt. I want to, whatever, get my husband working less hours at work, or whatever theirs is. They have clear goals. So that's also extremely important. So as you're looking at your downlines and you're kind of looking to the people who are going to be the ones who really push your business forward, learning how to identify your leaders is very important. But that comes with another really important point, and that is that 9 times out of 10, the people who become your key leaders in your business are going to surprise you almost every single time. Never discount anybody on your team. Every single person, their journey is going to be different, and their leadership skills might just need some watering and some growing. And so some of you have probably heard the concept of eagles and chickens, that you have those who are going to soar and you have those who are never going to fly, and to just give all your time to the eagles. Well, sometimes there's a lot of people who think they're chickens, but they're actually eagles. They just haven't learned it yet. And so part of servant leadership is learning that and giving to our teams and helping to grow and spreading our personal development, which you're going to talk about in a second. That is also pulling the leadership out of some women who may not even know that they have it inside of themselves. And that's a really cool part of what we do. So the key is, and I said this a little bit already, but the key here is operating now as if you are the leader that you would be if you were running 1,000 amazing, strong, straight to the top shooting women. If you can learn to operate your business that way right now, you will attract that to yourself. You will bring that into your life. You know, when I started Team Luminous, guys, I had 3 people underneath me. I think maybe 2. I know 2, but I believe it was 3 when I started Team Luminous, because I started my business knowing that we would be at 100 soon, knowing that we would be at 1,000, knowing that I would be a Black status presenter. And so whatever that looks like for you, don't be afraid to start a team page of your own. I always encourage people to stay plugged into Team Luminous and to keep their new recruits plugged in, because it layers the, you know, the influence and the leadership and the training and the resources. But goodness, if you want to start a team and that's really going to help grow you, do it, man. You, like I said, learning to operate that way now is only going to make you stronger, and it's going to attract those amazing women and those amazing leaders into your life. So something that is an attribute of great leaders is they search up fresh ideas and material to share with their teams. And we're not selfish, and we're not stingy with those sorts of materials. So when we see a really great party idea, when we see a really great method or training or YouTube or whatever it is, or a book or anything, we share it with our teams, because we're constantly thinking, and that's what I'll talk about in a second, is we're literally, it's like, you now, no matter what, like I said, 1 person, 1,000, I don't care. If you can learn to put the glasses on now, like I am training 1,000 women. I am training, their success depends on me growing myself and teaching them to grow themselves. And if you can put those lenses on now, it's only going to set you up for success in the future. So great leaders are going to be constantly looking up new material. Find leaders that you love. Find books that you love that speak to you. You know, I watched The Secret, and it was huge for me. And so I filtered that down to you guys, because that's me saying, hey, this really worked and did something amazing in my life, so I want to share it with you guys and help you guys grow too. That's thinking like a leader. A leader is constantly filtering everything through, how will this benefit my team? And the key here is knowing your team. I don't care, again, how many people you have, and this does get harder as you get bigger. Like I said, we're just under 100 members right now. I know we're going to be over 200 by the end of the year, but I know virtually pretty well every single one of you. I know your why, and I know a little bit about your lifestyle, a little bit what got you into Unique, as much as your sponsors have shared with me, because I want to know your short and your long-term goals. Even if you're like my 5th, I have 6 generations now underneath me. So even if you're my 6th generation person, I still want to know every detail that I can about your business. And something that's really important for those of us who maybe we're not as administrative naturally, would be to take notes and to have a little, you know, chart where you're keeping track of, this is, you know, so and so, and these are her goals, this is her why, this is her short-term goals, her long-term goals, so that you can be touching base with the people on your team, and then touching base with the people who sponsor them and saying, hey, how is Janet doing with this goal in her life? How is she doing with, you know, that sort of thing? So it helps to keep track. So knowing your team and knowing their why is really powerful, because what's going to happen as you listen to training, as you become, you know, aware of and in contact with different resources, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is perfect for Janet because she works this daytime job and this fits so perfectly into her lifestyle. So then what you're doing is you're able to, you know, pass on your personal and your professional development to them, and saying, you know, you're seeking out ways that are going to grow those people. So knowing your team and knowing their why is vital, because again, understanding that when you grow your team, you are growing yourself. I think it's really easy, both with time management and just with our businesses in general, to get a little bit caught up in ourselves, you know, caught up in finding boosting videos and material for our parties and material for our business pages and that sort of thing, and even what we're posting on our personal pages. I understand we do need to manage all of those, but all of those things do need to be secondary to running our team, to knowing our team, to developing ourselves personally and professionally, to pour that into our team. Now, like I said, even if you don't have a person yet, do it now and operate and think that way now. Start a notebook if you have to, if you don't have a team yet, of things that you want to pass on to your team as you get them, as you have those team members. So again, growing your team grows you. That's it. That's it. You can lose so much time focusing on yourself, but the truth is that when you grow other people, that's the healthiest, strongest way to grow yourself. So lead now like you had your dream team, and you're going to attract it to yourself. Even when it's just you, you know, like I said, I started Team Luminous with 3 people. So that is a huge part of it. I believe that all of you are here now, well, because I have incredible leadership on my team, but I started leading like all of you back when I only had 2 and 3 of you. So just keep that in mind, and I say that not to toot my horn. I say that to encourage you guys that you can prepare yourself for the future today with how you conduct your business. You know, I think one of the most dangerous things that we can do is go on autopilot in this business, and that's just I'm sharing a little bit here and there. I'm running my Facebook here and there. And you just kind of assume that things will just kind of run themselves, especially those of us who do boosting. Boosting is so easy to go on autopilot because we just expect these sales, they kind of roll in, they kind of take care of themselves, and it's really easy to assume that your team is also going to take care of themselves. One of the benefits to our business is we're so social media based, and that is incredible. It is the reason that I can do this business, is because we are so social media based. There's no way I could do this if it was on person. No way. Not and be the wife and mom that I need to be. So still with that, the danger of social media is it's easy to be a little bit disconnected. So never ever lose sight of the fact that you are very much so in the people business, that your team are very real people who need very real organic connection to you and from you as their leadership. So our influence and our momentum just dies when we go on autopilot. And sometimes, man, even these large teams have just like crumbled from the inside out and just died because their leadership went on autopilot. And it's like if you go on autopilot, it crumbles, it falls all the way down through the ranks. So never ever go on autopilot. Maintaining the organic relationship with your team, I cannot tell you how vital that is. So some of the things that we can do very realistically and logistically is simply sharing your ideas and your goals with your team members and then set follow-up with them. I like to give this example. One of our team members recently heard an idea, something that somebody shared. It may have been me, maybe one of the other team members, but this idea of at your lunch break at work to treat it like a free vendor event. Set up 3 to 4 products on your table, message the people at your work, and basically say, hey man, I'm going to be in the cafeteria from 12 to 1, and if you want to be looking at those 3D fiber lashes or that lip stain I've told you about, I'm going to have everything there for you to sample. So message, 5 to 10 people you work with, whatever. And then even if you don't have anybody to text, still set it up and just be bold with it. Set it out and, look for opportunities to kind of blitz and talk to people. So she saw that idea and she's like, oh my gosh, perfect for one of my team members. And so it wasn't perfect for her because she works from home, but for the girl who works outside of the home, this was a perfect idea. So instead of just thinking, oh, that idea is not for me, she's thinking on her team's behalf, not just for herself when she listens to ideas, which is really the key here. So when you get this idea, like you see something and you're like, oh my gosh, this is perfect for this girl on my team. Verbiage is everything when we're dealing with our team members and how we speak to them. You never want to speak down to them. The very definition of servant leadership is that picture that Heidi posted not that long ago. It's the leader, everybody's linked arms pulling together, and we're literally like pushing this together. You are leading alongside. You're not leading from the top. You're not leading from the bottom. You are leading side to side, and you're saying, follow me as we do this together. The whole concept of we rise together, that is this business. And so the verbiage is everything. So instead of saying, first, obviously, I would put it out to the person, and I would say, oh my gosh, I had this idea. I think it's perfect for you. Look into it. What do you think? And that person comes back to me, oh my gosh, that's the best idea. That's perfect for my work. Well, then what we do with it from there is you would say, the key word here is let's. Let's get your lunch parties going. Because what's easy sometimes, and you guys will notice this as you get more team members, again, we lose sight. We can become a little bit apathetic. It's easy to let days and weeks and sometimes even a month go by without really doing something, especially when we're pretty new. So it's very important that, and this is the follow-up portion. So let's say you dropped that idea last week. I don't know. I said it to her. She said she was interested, but I don't know if she's doing it yet or not. I'm afraid of being pushy or making her feel like I'm, putting expectation on her. Well, this is when it's time to check in with her. So instead of saying, hey, how's it going? I try to avoid really open-ended questions. Instead, I would say very affirmatively, let's get your lunch parties going. Let's choose the products that you're going to showcase at this week's meetups at work. Let's schedule 3 days this week that you're going to do it. And then once you kind of set that up with that person, one, you're doing it alongside with them. They're not doing it alone. They're not feeling helpless. They're not feeling like they're drowning. You're really helping them through it. But you're doing it together, but you're also giving them enough incentive to push forward. They get them past that kind of apathy stage that's really natural for a lot of us because we get busy. Everybody's busy. But the most important part here is what I'm going to call, it's totally one of my husband's terms, but AAR. It's an after action review. So once this person has done day one and okay, so she's going to do this on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. On Monday, I'm messaging her or calling her and saying, hey, how did it go? What were people's responses? What can we do differently on Wednesday? And just supporting her and working through it. Maybe it went really great. Maybe it was really rough. We don't know. So come up with ideas. If it did go really rough, then recalibrate and think of new things for her next day. And then on Wednesday, meet with her again. Talk to her, even if it's on the phone or through Messenger or whatever, that communication and that follow-up is going to leave her supported, and she doesn't feel like she's doing this business on her own, but she's also doing this business for herself. Something that's very important about understanding servant leadership is this is not micromanagement, and it is certainly not doing the work for the people. That is the quickest way to hinder people ever, is to take the work on for them. It is very important that we lead people to learn how to lead themselves. And some of these things, it's just little tweaks here and there. If you say, oh, you should do lashes and this and this and this, because those are the best-selling products, you're kind of taking some of the wind out of her sails. Let her see what she wants to show to her friends. If it doesn't go very well, maybe she wants your suggestions next time. But little things like that. People do not like feeling micromanaged. We are in this business because we want to be in business for ourselves. That doesn't mean we want to do business alone. It just means that we want to be our own boss. And so honor that part and make sure that they don't feel, like I said, like micromanaged, but also make sure that they don't feel like they're doing it alone. And if time spans is going off and you have people who aren't qualifying, or maybe they're just really struggling and they're not talking to you as much, that's usually it's time to reach out to them and say, hey, how's that idea we talked about going? So something that I've talked to the leadership of Team Luminous, and I want to talk about it here with everybody, are some practical ways that every single person in here can be replicating themselves. I have broken this down into basically 3 steps that every single person needs to thoroughly understand, and when you recruit somebody, it's very vital that you can walk them through these. So if you have to write it down, save this video, whatever you're going to do. Like I said, this is going to be on YouTube, so you'll have this information available to you. But every single recruit needs to be walked through 3 steps. Step 1 is just simply getting qualified. That is when you sell $125. This is a monthly goal. You need to let them understand that this is a monthly goal. This isn't a one-time goal. This is a monthly goal. So I would, when somebody joins your team, I would schedule a time with them either on the phone or on Facebook where you walk them through this process. Explain their back office to them. Explain how to log in, how to check their back office, explain how to open a party. We have several YouTubes that you can link for them on how to open parties, and then help them get their launch party date set in stone so that they know. Not everybody does a launch party. If they're not going to do a launch party, that's fine, but if they are, let's get that on the books. Don't let it just kind of dwindle as something in the sometime future, but make sure that you're getting it set as a hard date. That way, when it's coming time to their launch party, you can get them added to the Team Luminous mock party if they want to be part of that, or show them other party methods, or just introduce them to the material. But step 1, get them qualified and explain that that is a monthly goal, and here's kind of, boom, this is your launching period. The next thing, step 2, is the fast start. So explaining fast start to them. Fast start is simply in your first 90 days recruiting 3 people and selling $2,000 in personal retail sales. When you do that, you get a free $250 in makeup from Unique. And it's a huge, awesome thing because, dude, by the time you've done that, you're already yellow and you're most likely pink, because if you're replicating yourself and you're getting your people to hit their fast start, that sends you to pink and potentially blue when you've only been in for 90 days. So it's called fast start for a reason. It really helps you just launch and get going so you don't get kind of stuck in the doldrums of the what do I do now phase, and that's why we do these 3 steps, is to help people really hit the ground running. So explain the fast start to them. Explain how to get access to training inside of Team Luminous, and inside of a group if you started, inside of the Unique Presenters group and different things. There's a lot of groups on Facebook, so whichever ones you feel feed you the best and most information, then join them. And then just introducing them to the training to get to where they need to be. So that step 2 is fast start and explaining it and making sure they really have a full grasp of what fast start is. And then step 3 is just simply learning their why. Encourage them to write their why down, or even do a video. Some girls do a video of their why and post it on Facebook. That's a really bold move, and some people think even on this team have done it, and that's really powerful and really awesome. So if that's your personality, some of us are more comfortable doing things like that than others, and that's okay. So video it, write it down, whatever it is, but have that person really grasp their why, and make sure that you're writing it down too, where you're logging all those team members. Same thing. And then the next thing is that you're just going to teach those people how to teach the first 3 steps. That's it. When you can do this, replication is going to happen in a much healthier way. In this line of business, guys, replication can happen so fast. You could join today, and your sister's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And she joins you tomorrow, and then her best friend joins her the next day. Well, now you guys are 3 brand new people who are like, I don't know what to do, ask this person. But instead, if you can get, again, leadership glasses right away, if you grasp these 3 steps, teach your girl as soon as she joins, same day, you're talking to her about these 3 steps so that each person is understanding what first goals they're going to teach and what first goals they're going to reach for. That's going to replicate much healthier and much stronger and really help you guys hit the ground as a team very strong and much better. We want to be reproducing healthy teams. We do not just want to jot out in crazy directions all over the place and not have people who really grasp an understanding of the business. The last big thing I want to talk about is personal development. You hear all the time that leaders are readers, and I don't care if leaders are audiobook listeners or YouTube watchers, same concept, but personal development, guys, it is so huge. It is so, so, so big. Find people, you know, I've said this before in group, but find people you love. Find people that inspire you. Even if it's not a unique person, go on YouTube. I mention all the time, I love Sherry Brown. I am subscribed to her YouTube channel because everything that woman says to me is gold, and it's funny, and I like her sense of humor. So I follow Sherry Brown because she really speaks to me as a leader. Find those people, like I said, inside Unique, outside of Unique. Some people really like Eric Worre's stuff. There's a lot of stuff, Zig Ziglar, and you know, there's tons and tons and tons of people. There's you know, you can follow people's Facebook pages. You can like their YouTube or subscribe to their YouTube channel. Just I always encourage people, don't just lean on me, because the truth is I might love Sherry Brown and you guys might get a lot out of somebody different that's a totally different person. So my flavor might be one thing when you're drawn to more of a different flavor. So don't be afraid to, you know, get very well-rounded leadership, and don't be afraid to listen to people who are different from you also, because that does bring a well-roundedness to your leadership style, because you will have people join you who are attracted to different kinds of leaders. And so the more that you can kind of expand that market of what kind of material you're introducing people to, what you're listening to, that sort of thing, it's just going to make you more well-rounded. You don't just want to be like listening to people that sounds like, oh, that's exactly how I would say it, because we do need challenged, and we do need to listen to people that stretch us, and you're kind of like, oh man, that's just so different than what I think. It's probably good for you to listen to it to get, you know, that well-rounded perspective on leadership, because I'm very much so a servant leader, and so I do have to listen to people who are more the, you know, fly or don't fly, go for it, run for it. I can't really help you. You're the only person who can help yourself. I have to listen to those people because they help keep my perspective balanced. So again, don't just lean on me. There's just so much health and well-roundedness, and there's just a wealth of information out there on leadership and different leadership styles. So bottom line here is that in this business, you get what you put in. And when you live with a positive mind, you are going to get a positive life. And so your leadership style and the way that you are able, like I said, the take-home points here is, no matter how many people in your company, put the goggles on that I am leading thousands of rock star women, and I am going to look through all of my personal development, all of my professional development, as if I'm already leading those people. I am going to speak and conduct myself as if thousands of people are watching me all the time. And when you can live in that kind of integrity, that kind of sincerity, and you are genuinely doing everything for the growth of your people, girls, that's when magic happens. And so, like I said in the beginning, at least 10 times, you guys are already leaders. And every single one of you on this team are already leaders. And the more that you can grasp this and grow this now, the stronger you are going to be, for sure. So, love you guys. You guys are such an amazing team. You really are. We are by far one of the smallest teams in Unique that are purple, and that is because of your strength. Every single one of you are so, so strong, and I am so proud of you. I am so proud to be your leader. I am only here because of you guys, and in my mind, we're like this. I'm not at the top. I am with you. We are doing this together. We are rising together. I'm only happy if you guys are promoting. I don't want to be purple if nobody is promoting. I don't want to be black if nobody's promoting. I want guys to be greens and oranges and purples and blacks with me. So you guys are amazing, and I will see you in the group. I will turn on the chat. If anybody, while we're in here, I'm going to turn off the YouTube recording portion, but if you guys have any Q&A for me and you want to ask some questions, go for it now. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast. But if you have any questions, go ahead.